Welcome back, everyone, to the Abundance Formula podcast, and welcome to another solo episode. Um, Today, I was going to do another one of those mini coaching sessions, but honestly, just with the sequence of events lately, I was like, you know what? I need to do a podcast episode that's just kind of like real talk with people. Maybe that needs to be another solo episode segment that we keep consistent, just called Real Talk, because um, one thing that I wish I could hear more on entrepreneur podcasts or people who do talk about business and high performance and just abundant living is to truly share like the craziness of what it looks like to build that abundant life or to build that life that's fulfilling and full of that is full of success but is also full of mess. And I just feel like we don't get to hear as much. There might be like a smidgen of a snippet somebody shares about like the daily mess. It's one thing if there's people will share like, say, a pinnacle story or like a rock bottom shift or something, but like it's like after they've hit kind of a success point, you don't get to hear sort of ongoing mess or chaos that those people that maybe you admire or follow are dealing with. And I just wish more people would share that because I think it would give more people who are listening like permission and affirmation, like you're doing the right things, you're in the right place, you're not alone, like you're not doing it, like this is what it looks like. And I think it would also give people better expectations of what to expect when you are living at a high level, that when you have high aspirations or a desire to be extraordinary, that like there's just all kinds of stuff that is still showing up that's not going well or that makes things hard. It's just you choose differently. You make different choices. You're better at dealing with chaos or better at dealing with obstacles or things that come your way. And so today I just want to do one of those episodes so that you guys can know like just kind of behind the scenes what it all looks like, because I know here soon you're going to see this new product that I've been working on. I've kind of talked about it or been introing it and warming it up here lately on the podcast, sort of end of 2025 and throughout 2026 so far. But I'm really doing a brand shift. And I've been wanting to do this shift for a while. Um, but now it's just time to bite the bullet and do it, because so many of you know me for fitness and being, a national level competitor and health and wellness and the practitioner side of me and things like that. And of course, because of this podcast, which is one of the reasons I created this podcast years ago, was to start that bridge, because I knew in the future I wanted to shift into life coaching. I wanted to shift into personal development coaching, because I was finding in so much of what I was doing, whether it was on the practitioner side of things or even in the our personal training business, that for people to get the results they want, it was about what's happening inside. That's the problem. It's the mindset, it's the soul work, it's the belief systems, it's all of that needs built. That's where the unhealthiness is. And when you get that on track, then if somebody wanted to lose weight, now you can lose weight. The people that weren't getting where they wanted to go, it was a mindset thing. It was something deeper. It was a belief thing. It was a breaking behavioral patterns, self-sabotage. There's so much stuff that I've been doing with clients that's above and beyond what I was technically supposed to be doing in order for them to get the results they wanted and to perform their best and to live their fullest life, to find this. And so I always enjoyed whole person health. It was never about just the fitness side of it, because you'd never got fit if you weren't fit inside first. And so that's where my real passion lies. And so I created this podcast to start a bridge to help warm up my audience that was completely fitness focused into this concept that these two things go hand in hand. Like you don't get one without the other. In fact, specifically, you don't get the fitness result without this foundational groundwork first, especially if you want to get to the highest point of your performance, or if you're already a high performer. If you're not internally on track, then you're not even enjoying the level of success that you have. And so therefore you're not happy, you're not fulfilled, and you're not really reaching the level of peak you could. So I've been wanting to shift into this space more so, like full on, like not really even do personal training anymore, unless for select people. because it's just where my passion lies. So end of 2025 is when I really decided I'm going to go this direction. I'm going to rebrand. And that takes a lot of work. And if any of you who own a business or even own a side business or any of that, you know that takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of foresight, and you have to create the service, the product or the service, which is kind of my life coaching framework is what I've been building. Because what people are buying isn't just, okay, high performance. It's how I help you do that. There's a framework, there's a system that's implementable and it's repeatable. And each time you work through it, you go deeper and deeper levels to raise you to higher and higher level of performance. So creating and putting that together, synthesizing all of my experience, knowledge, research, everything into one space and being able to communicate that to clients and apply it to their lives and help it be a transformational process. In this product or service I'm creating, I've really put so much work into it because it's not a teaching you how to do it. It's experiential. It has to be experiential for it to stick. For transformation to stick, you have to experience it. So I'm more, as you guys have heard on this podcast, one of my proficiencies is asking questions, generating answers out of people from within themselves. And so that's why I'm a great podcast host. It's why I've helped get all my clients great results. It's how I get my patients excellent results. And so that's what this coaching process is going to be, is not just me teaching you tools and frameworks and, processes of how to get better results in your life and, find more fulfillment and abundance. It's going to be guiding you down a process experientially and drawing it out of you. You're going to learn so much more about yourself. So that's what I've been knee deep into lately, which is a ton of work. And that's on top of all my other work. So still working part-time as a practitioner, still running our personal training business. But what it looks like in real life is, and then building this in addition, and then we have 2 little children and I have a husband, and family is top priority for me as well. So here's just what this looks like for somebody out there that's listening that might be a mom or a parent. You have high aspirations of your creative contribution and impact you want to give to the world, but also your family is a top priority to you as well. And although you want to build the dream and continue and not just let go and lose yourself because you had a family, that's not what we're raising our kids to do. It's to be like, well, you better get all your creative contribution in before you get married and have children, because otherwise at that point, everything just becomes about your kids and you're just stagnant from there forward. That's not what I want to teach our girls, especially us having girls. That was very much a societal norm to, all right, you get in what you're going to do. And then once you have kids, you're either the stay-at-home mom or you work part-time, or it just becomes about the kids. And then I'm thinking, as we're getting our girls through school and stuff, I'm like, but what are we raising them to do? It's like, why are they going to school to why are we spending money to hone in different gifts they have and crafts and letting them experience music and sports? And why are we trying to find their giftedness if then by the time they graduate college or graduate school, like for me, I went all the way to graduate school and, then they finish residency and then they go, these are all things for me, finish residency, you get married and now you're working in your residency, you're climbing the ladder in your company, or you start your own company, whatever you're doing, you do all of this stuff. We've honed in all these gifts. And then once you have kids, you got to just let it all go. Or if you don't, then now you also don't get to feel like you're a super present mom and your kids feel secondary to your career and impact. That's not how it has to be. It's hard to do both though. So what it looks like on this end to do both is building this new thing. I've had to, as I've talked about on here, get really intentional with my schedule and try to coordinate things, but it doesn't mean it all goes well. It doesn't mean you don't still feel guilty about just wanting to make sure they feel loved and seen and given time. But again, getting really intentional with that schedule and giving full focus and presence. I've talked about that already on episodes. But what I wanted to throw in with the kids is so what this looks like is a lot of extra time put into building something new and having the faith leap to phase out something else. So with the personal training clients, I'll just keep the funnel filled, right? So I have set it up purposefully, my life's busyness, to be at an income level where it needs to be with my practitioner job paired with our own business, so that I can manage that in a way that makes me happy and we are financially where we need to be, but also have the time with our kids that I want before they're in school full time. So I have that set. Well, whenever a client, takes a pause or whatever, normally I've got my funnel full and the next person will sub in and I've already keep that same level of busyness. Well, real life talk, this is what this looks like when you're building something new and brand shifting and you're starting to transition into a new space. Well, once a client takes a pause, I'm not backfilling that with a new personal training client. I've been leaving that space so that I can use that space for creating this new thing. And then, of course, eventually I need to have the space to fill it with the new type of client. So it's a scary space to be because you do have this transition period where you still need the money, but also you have to take the faith leap and know that I also need the time to create the new thing. And you only have so much time and you're not going to take it. You don't want to take it from your kids. So you've got to start making gradual transitions of maybe not filling the one client spot. And that becomes designated time block for working on the new thing, building that out. Okay, now you're going to start letting go of 2 spots and you're going to fill it with more of that and kind of building it in, because then once this launches here soon, I need that space to do, discovery calls. I need that space to give free value. I need that space for the new clients. And so it's a faith leap, it's a transition, and it's scary. So that's part 1 of what it looks like on that end over here. So now I've got this space. I've been filling it with building the new thing. And it's getting close to that time where I'm going to be subbing that in now with the new type of clientele. But then paired with all that, so now the kids see me a little more in the house as opposed to being outside training with clients, or they might be playing in the gym or playing outside. So I'm in the office working more, or up at I've had to find new spaces to work. So in the office, I have to be like, okay, you have to watch a show for this amount of time. They may come play in the office, but I'm like, listen, y'all, if you want me to get this done as quick as I can so we can get back to playing, you've got to stop talking to me for a second, or whatever it may be. And again, you're still juggling it back and forth, pause, go get snacks, whatever. It's a grind. I'm not going to lie. And you just really are trying to make sure that you don't be short with your kids. If it's the time that's supposed to be your block for working, because they just had the playtime block with them, it just feels chaotic still. It's hard for me specifically. I've had to really train my mind to be able to activate into creative mode because of, your ideas getting chopped off for a second because someone wants a snack, or there's a sibling fight happening and you got to pause to deal with that. So it's just real life, but you have to just keep it. You will never have always the perfect working environment. It would be great, but at least in the phase I'm at right now, where they're not both in school full time, I can't expect to have the perfect working environment. And if I were to wait for the perfect working environment every single day, I would never get this thing out into the world. So that's just a little tip for you, that if our parents or in a situation where of course you would love to have this nice flow that goes with your time blocks, still stick to your time blocks, but they may not be pretty, right? It may not be pretty. And, I'm getting, this is a funny one for you, especially if you have kids. So we've been dealing with stomach bug stuff the whole last week. So I specifically the other week, made extra time in the morning, like woke up extra early so that I could work on this stuff before the kids were even awake, because they were just for some reason in a phase where they were being more needy. So I was like, I have to wake up before everyone wakes up and do my time blocking for working on this product. So I woke up early. Well, magically, Sailor decided to wake up early. This is like 5 a.m. early. And she was fine. She was watching a show. And so I'm in the office working. And then by the time it's about 6:45, and this is on a practitioner day. So I'm waking up at 5 a.m. to build the new thing. Then I'm going to go to my practitioner job for a full day. Then I'm going to come home and train a couple clients. And then I'm going to continue, I'm going to play with the kids, have family time. And then there's another time block. I have to work on this a little more. And then family time again, bedtime routine, all that stuff. So I'm up early. 6:45 rolls in, she comes into the office and she wants to sit in this chair behind me, the one I'm sitting right now, sit behind me in the chair while I'm working. So I'm leaned forward, working on this part of my product, and she's sitting behind me. Next thing I know, she upchucks and just throws up all over this chair, on my back, the carpet. This is carpet in the office. Upchucks. So much throw up. And I'm just like, oh my word. Like, really, I woke up early to do work. She woke up too. Now she's thrown up everywhere in the office that I work. So I stop working on my product. I get up and of course I be in there for her while she finishes getting everything out. And then I get her up in the shower. She's rinsing off the shower. I immediately come down to try to get this throw up off the ground and wash. It was so much, you guys. It was just so much. I had to put the chair outside and like hose it down, all of this. So no more program work this morning, like just a big old pivot, right? Now we're dealing with the stomach bug. I still got to go. No, so now I get the office cleaned up, got to go upstairs, talk to Kellen, like, which of us is going to work today? Are you going to work today or am I going to work today? Who's going to stay home and see what comes out of this, if she's going to keep throwing up or if Malia's going to go down, or we all going down, like who knows, this is just like what it looks like. So then she ended out, having a day, but then was better the next day. Great. None of the rest of us got sick, which was wonderful. But then now, like the office has smelled like vomit. Right now I'm sitting here doing this podcast and it smells like vomit in this room. It's quite awful. So again, here we are though, like we got to show up for the podcast. Like you're doing the podcast, you still got to show up for work. You got to do this stuff. Until today, I've pivoted from working in the office to, I emailed myself my program, like my framework already, so that I can work on the marketing and the messaging and the things for the website and all that stuff. From my phone. I can reference it from my phone, whereas I had all the documents on our big computer. So I have it on my phone now so I can work on it upstairs or in any other room because this room smells terrible and I'm constantly re-cleaning it, opening the windows, doing the fan. But today was time to record a podcast. So I'm like, well, the smell's still here, but we got to do a podcast. So like I'm doing this podcast with the smell of vomit everywhere in the air. So this is what it looks like, you guys. But I mean, like, again, what is a message without a mess? What is a testimony without a test? And that's where I want to just keep it real with you guys, to be like, y'all, this is what it looks like. So when you see, like, again, any of the things I'm doing currently that's, successful and that people will message me like, how do you do it all? How do you make it happen? How do you achieve these things? I get plenty of that. Like, this is what it looks like. It ain't pretty. Oh, and before doing this podcast, let me just tell you this one. So again, I'm like, all right, time blocks, right? Going to get Malia from school here soon. I've had clients this morning. I had clients later, drop off for school, all this stuff this morning. Okay, so we've got a busy day. Well, I'm like, by the time I'm going to do my podcast, we're going to take a walk first. So I walked with Sailor. Well, she brought this stuffy with her. We walked through the whole neighborhood. And then right as we get back to the house, I hear this clunk. And so I look and I realize, because she wasn't facing me, that she's fallen dead asleep. And she dropped one of the toys that was in her hand that was plastic, and it caught right at the edge of her stroller. So it made the clunk sound on the edge of where her feet sit. And so I thought, oh gosh, she's fallen asleep. And so then my next thought was, okay, well, where's the stuffy? And so as she's asleep, I'm looking all around, I'm tucking and feeling all around her body. This is a brand new stuffy that her Gigi just got her yesterday. So of course it's like her most favorite important thing right now. The stuffy's not in her hands. So now I realize that she's dropped it somewhere through the neighborhood and I didn't hear it. I didn't see it. I didn't hear it. And it's time to record this podcast. And I'm like, okay. And I've only got so long to do it before we got to get on to the next thing. So I was thinking, okay, again, really? Of course. Now we got to go through the freaking neighborhood and find the stuffy. We have to find it, or I'm going to be dealing with a meltdown. And the only time we're going to have best chance to find it is if I go right now, because I remember the way we walked. So I'm like, well, I don't want to wake her up because I'd love for her to get a nap, but it's going to be faster if I just wake her up, put her in the car, and we drive through the neighborhood. So I have to wake her up, put her in the car. We cruise through the neighborhood. We find the stuffy. Thank God. Get the stuffy. Yay. World's happy again. Come back to the house. Okay. Now, Sailor, I need you to relax, watch TV with the stuffy. And I'm going to go in the vomit office and record this podcast finally, like that. So this is just what it looks like, people. This is what it looks like. Okay. It can look great on social media. And that's why I kind of want to just make sure I document this throughout this whole rebrand, new launch of a product and products that are going to come out of this that are going to break down into different pieces, as you'll see, that are released. But, when you'll see it finally, it's going to look good. It's going to look great. The website's going to look great. It's going to look awesome. It's going to look like an awesome lifestyle. Like, look, she's doing it. She's the mom, and she's the present mom, but she's the entrepreneur. She's successful. She's creating transformation, a life change. This is so awesome. Oh, I want to do that. Right? Which is great. I want to be an inspiration. That's what I love about this is I love that about the people that inspire me and that I'm, that are my mentors and that I'm looking up to and um, I'm learning from is I have those thoughts, right? But then when I don't see as much of this stuff I'm sharing, then like when I hit this stuff, I'm like, am I just royally on the wrong track? Am I just sucking at life? You know? But then when I talk to these people, personally, I'm like, is this stuff happening to you? They're like, oh yeah, it's happening to me too. Right? They just don't share it, which is fine, right? It's nice to have the perfect, pretty Instagram and Facebook and whatever. That's fine. That's good. But I want to make sure that those of you that are listening to this who are pushing to build just the most fulfilled dream life that you can while you're here to make incredible impact, but also be filled with love and presence in the things that you value too, like your family, your health, that all that doesn't have to go by the wayside either. You can have both and teach your children that you can have both, right? That like this is what that looks like. It can look pretty on one end, and I'm excited for y'all to see that side. Like, hey, you can work this hard and go through this much vomit and stress on one end, or just not, doesn't even have to be stressful. You can, again, you can embrace the mess and laugh. That's what I am in a season. One of the skills I'm really wanting to hone in this year is embracing the mess and laughing at it and writing it down more. So I have more stories to share because I usually just like, I deal well with crises. I'm one of those people that like stay calm in crises. I do really well. And that comes second nature to me. So I don't think about documenting it or like writing it down or even telling some of those stories. But I've realized over time, like so many people are like, you should share more of that because some people may not be as good at it. Or again, it just makes you more relatable and not having this perfect image all the time is helpful because then other people know you're real, know you're going through it too. You didn't have any sort of special circumstance that's now set you up for this kind of success. So other people could think, well, that's for her and not for me. This is for all of us. And this is the kind of stuff that comes up. No, every day isn't this chaotic. But a lot of them are too, and so I'm learning to laugh at the mess even more, embrace the mystery of like, how are we going to figure this out? I love plans, but that's another skill set I'm working on right now. It's just learning to love mystery. Um, I always have loved mystery stories and suspense, but like for other people's stories, right? I want to know what I'm doing next. But I'm embracing like, God, what are you going to do out of this? Hey, how are you going to solve this problem? I can't wait to see what you do with this. I can't wait to see what you do with this chaos or this crisis. I mean, I'm here to do what you tell me to do, but I'm excited to see how you figure this out and what you tell me to do and what you want me to know. So that's the phase I'm in right now too, of that and trying again to document these experiences and share more of them so that those of you out there can know you're on the right track. This stuff happens, maybe give you ideas of how to get through it and just give you someone to laugh with and just relate to. So I hope today some of you felt seen, felt seen in this story, and that when you see the back end of this product ultimately come out, that's curated and looks great and looks put together and all that stuff, that wow, that's possible. That looks great. That's awesome. The results over here, awesome. But also like that these two realities coexist at the same time, that like success and mess go together and that failure and success go together. And like when failure and success go together and you're on the high end, like the mountaintop part of the experience, it's important that you keep failure and success still together because now you can have humility. But then when you keep failure and success together, when you're maybe at a lower point, it's important to keep failure and success together because now you have resilience. So I want to show you both sides of those coins and show you that if you're in either or both of those places simultaneously, you're doing a great job. You're not alone. I'm here for you. I'd love to hear your stories. That's what I said, like I was saying, I want to hear people's stories. I want to hear more successful people talk about this and show up like this in a podcast with no makeup, hair that needs colored. Like this is what I look like if you're not watching this on YouTube, if you're listening on audio, like I have no makeup for this podcast because there wasn't going to be time. I need my hair colored desperately before the photo shoot that I have for the website. But you know what? We're showing up because consistency and realness is really what creates success because people like people they can trust and they trust you when they feel like they really know who you are. And People want to know the real you, the authentic you, the messy you, the successful you. They want to know all of it and feel a part of your journey. I am the most supportive of people that I feel the most a part of their journey. So thank you all for being a part of my journey. And I can't wait to see you guys next week. Bye, everyone.